Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for this video. In this demonstration, I'm going to be showing you how to construct and work with the July Delphinium flower. Now you can see on here you're getting two different nested shapes. So you've got these two that are sort of like the helicopter propellers. These are going to create the Delphinium petals for you. So the two nested ones will work with one another and so will these two, but you can alternate both of these together. You do also have two stamen sets with this one, so you can see your top one and your bottom one has different shapes on there, and of course you do also have your two foliage leaves to add on to your stems of flowers. So I'm going to show you exactly what I've cut out, and that is I've got multiples and I've cut them in a deep purple of my foam, and you can see these two here go together, they're the same shaped ends, and this one here is a slightly different one. So we're going to work with this one here. Then I also have my stamens cut in two colourways. Okay, so we've got it in a charcoal black and a lilac blush. Okay, so we're going to work with both of these. And the first thing I'm going to do is scrunch up each petal. Okay, so this instantly changes the characteristic of the petal, makes it look much more lifelike and realistic. So just using your finger and thumb, I just place it on my finger like this and scrunch it together like that. Okay, so pinch it together, scrunch it up. It doesn't matter if you scrunch it really, really tight, screw it right up, because as soon as you release it and you open the petals up like this, you get a really nice sort of delicate, stressed looking petal, and it looks so realistic. Okay, so then what we're going to do is work into our centres. Now I've got a Fleurs wire here that's quite long, I'd say it's around about 20 centimetres. What I'm going to do is add some glue to the tip of my wire. I've created that hook at the end of my wire, which means I can wrap things around much easier. And I'm wrapping the stamen round at the top of this, and I'm starting with the charcoal one. Okay, so I'm just going to twist this round, and that hot glue across that stamen will grip all of this on there. Okay. Then I'm going to take this one here. So this is our one I've cut in the lilac, and you can probably see you have just different shapes along the top of here. So it gives a bit of depth and dimension to the petals. Okay, so I'm going to stick that to the outer edge, and I'm not going to do a full wrap of this entire piece. I'm only going to use a section of it. So if I loop it around, I can see I can actually trim off these bits here. Now this is completely optional, it's entirely up to you, but if I just take those pieces off there, it means I've then got a tab to add my glue onto, because I only want a touch of the lilac going around the edge. Okay, just like that. So I'm going to take my Fleurs mat, I'm going to work with the smaller one first. So I'm going to pinch it down into the centre of that with the wire and glide it up the stem. So you've got the charcoal and the lilac meeting the deep purple. So adding a blob of my hot glue underneath the stamen there. I'm going to take that all the way up to the top and then just pinch the petals around that, and it sort of raises them a little bit like that. Okay, so that looks really pretty on its own. A bunch of these would actually look lovely, but we're going to keep on going with it. Stab it into the centre like that, glide the stem down and add hot glue around this, and then I'm going to alternate the petals. So I've got a petal in each gap. So I'm just going to raise that up like this. Okay, now this is going to form the central stem now of our delphinium. Now delphiniums, you can make this it's entirely up to you how you want to create it. Okay, in different looks, different dimensions, but with this particular one, this is how I'm going to construct it. So what I'm going to do is take my pliers and just pinch the edge of this ever so slightly, just to sort of tilt it outwards. So now the petal is actually facing towards me. Now I've done multiples of these, you can see them all here in the exact same way, just on slightly shorter stems. So what I'm going to do is pinch this one outwards and then just gather it like this, okay, and wrap it round. So I'm going to take the two stamens together and wrap the wires around like this. So I'm just entwining the whole thing together, okay. Super easy to do. Now you can use as much or as little wire to do this as you want. So I'm going to take another one, pinch it out ever so slightly, and I'm just going to work my way down with this. So I'm then going to wrap it around again, and the stem that you create starts to thicken up, and that's where you can then add your tapes around it. You can add all different types of foliage into this. It actually looks quite beautiful. I'm going to trim this one down because it doesn't need to be quite that long. Then I can save my leftover piece of wire for another project. Okay, so I'm going to tilt that one out towards me like that. Then I'm going to go into this gap here and start to wrap that one round. So once it's wrapped around there, I can then sort of bend this round and position it where I'd like it. Okay, so I'm sort of, the way I'm building this particular one is I'm displaying it facing forward. So you can see there, that's the back of it. You could then go around the entire thing, which a Delphinium would naturally do. But the way I want to position this is it's going to go on a flat project. So I'm going to have it sat like this and it'll be like a spray of flowers. Okay, so I'm just going to bend these edges towards me like that. And then just continue to wrap these round. Okay, so I'm taking the wire, wrapping them round, and you can see we're getting a lovely, beautiful array of the deep purple with hints of that lilac, and the charcoal as that deep dark centre. And I have seen Delphiniums different colourways, so you can of course create these in whatever colour you want to. And towards the bottom, what I'm actually going to do is this stem, I'm going to create a little bit longer, so it gives the impression that the bunch of flowers is getting slightly thicker towards the bottom. So I'm going to take this wire, twist it around like this. Okay, and then I'm going to sort of mould that, shape it towards me. And then my last one I'm going to place just here at the bottom, like this. Again, I'm going to twist the wire around the central stem here. There we are. Face it towards me like that. And then I can go in and just shape these wherever you would like to place them. So of course, if you want some poking towards, depending on how you display the project, you might want some standing prouder, facing different ways, catching the light. Of course, if you're popping your sprays and shimmers and glitters on here, you can make these look quite spectacular. But that is the simple way to construct your Delphinium on a stem. So you could have a group of these standing proud in a vase, or of course in a plant pot or something like that. They look absolutely gorgeous, but down there, just against that wire, it really pops and shows you just the sort of scale you can create these. You can see my hands next there. This is sort of the scale we're working with these fleurs. You can make these as big as you wish. Then of course, add your foliage elements wherever you want to. So the small leaves here, you can then pop these on individual stems and just have them poking out the bottoms. Of course, we're doing other foliage videos in the video as well, so you can see how to work with those. Or of course, if you wanted to, interlink them all, use the different foliages from different sets, link them all together. So I hope you've enjoyed that demonstration and do join me for the next one. Thank you.